Uh-oh, my tablet's not working. There we go. Okay, the method is going to seem kind of strange. That's fine. But factor by grouping is about half of it, and that's why we need to learn it. If you guys like to write steps down, why don't we just kind of make the decision where problem 2 on the right-hand side we won't do, and you can write the steps there. But I'll keep going. It's after that. It's after that, sure. Nope, keep going. Keep going. Might be right there. I don't know. Is that the problem at the top? Okay, then keep going. It's towards the end of the packet, that's why I was. There you go. Okay, step 1. Multiply the outer two numbers. So this is about how to factor these. So I'm going to be multiplying 3 and negative 5. So I'm going to have negative 15p squared. Now my goal is to find the pair of numbers that multiply to negative 15p squared, but add to the middle one. So I want to find two numbers that multiply to that, but add to the middle one. So I'm going to write them down a certain way, because I found over the years that this has kind of helped, okay? So I always start with 1. So 1 and 15. Now a negative 15 needs one of the two numbers to be negative. So I'm just going to choose one of them to be negative. And then on the next line, I'm going to write the other version. Okay, now both of these pairs, neither one of them adds up to 2. Okay, so I know I need to keep going. I started with 1. Does 2 go into 15? Nope. Then I get to 3. So 3 does. 3 times 5. And then again, it's negative, so I'm going to put a negative on one of them and then write the other version. Now, some of you might have already seen the correct answer, and that's good. But the reason I write them down like this, what's the next number to try after 3? 4. 4 doesn't go into 15. 5. But then as soon as I get to 5, I'm done looking for factors because 5 is already on the next column. So I'm going to go down the left-hand column until I get to the number on the right-hand column. And then that's all the possible factors. All right, now I'm going to look for the pair here that adds up to negative 2. And I think a lot of you just kind of already know it's this one, 3 and negative 5. Oh, you're right. I kept forgetting about the steps. So step 2 on the right, if you want to write instructions. Step 2 is to look for the pair that add up to the middle term. Step 1 was to multiply. Step 2 is to look for the factors that add up to the middle term, which is just what I wrote down for you. It's not really a great way to say it, so I'm just kind of... Oh, man. Step 2 is to look for the pair of numbers that multiplies to what you just found and adds to the middle term. And my guess is after a while of doing these, you're not going to need the steps. You'll just remember it. Step 3. Replace the middle term with the pair you just found. So I am now going to write 3p squared. Now I got a positive 3. Both of them are going to have a p on there because the part I left out is that when they multiply, they have to be p squared. So I'm going to have 3p squared plus 3p minus 5p minus 5. The order you write the two numbers doesn't matter. It won't matter at all. These first 3 steps are by far the hardest, so that's why I want to go slow on these. Do you guys want me to start over from the beginning to get to this stage again? Or are you feeling okay with this? Can't tell. Okay? Once we get to this step, it should look super familiar because this is all the factor by grouping ones we've been doing. So getting to step 3, if you want to write a step 4 is factor by grouping. So we're going to split it in half, like imaginary line, factor the first half, which I think you're probably decent at by now, 3p times p plus 1. So 3p is out front, which means I'm dividing by 3p on both of them. Second half, I've got negative 5p minus 5. Zabi, what do we do when there's a negative in the front? So the negative is on the first number. What did we do last week when that happened? Kind of. I think you mean the right thing. We have to factor the negative out. So I think everybody looking at these two numbers knows that 5 is in common. But because the first number is negative, we're going to take out a negative as well. So divide both these by, divide both of these by negative 5. I wanted to do a lot of these problems last week so that this portion of this didn't feel that scary. Because if I would have started with these problems from the beginning, that's a lot of things to learn at once. Zabi, pick the next number. Or person, whatever you want to do. 14. Kai. Kai, what do I do from here? Oh. Does each of the halves, so first half, second half, does each of the halves have something in common? Yep, perfect. So anytime we have something in common, we write it in the front. And in the second parentheses, we would write what's left over if we divided by it. And some people are doing the divided by step in their head, and you certainly can. But if I divide by it, it cancels it out. So I'd be left with 3p minus 5. And I'd write that in the second one. And then this is going to be the final answer for the factoring that we started with. Overall, there's a lot of steps. But the second half of the problem should be semi-familiar to you. I'm gonna guess if I asked you to go from 0 to 5, I get a bunch of zeros and ones right now. I could be wrong. These are traditionally kind of difficult at first. But then the more you do them, they feel easier. Should I go right to the next problem? Okay, let's go to the one below it. Kai, who's going to be the next number? 24. That's Lexi. Lexi, what was step 1? Nope. Oh, you started writing on step 2. Step 1 was to multiply the outer two numbers. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. I've got 2n squared times 2, so 4n squared. So off next to the problem, I'm going to look for the factors of positive 4 that are going to add up to positive 5. And you might already know them in your head. That's fine. So we've got 1 and 4. Now there's no negatives in this problem, but just so you guys get used to it, -1 and -4. That would also multiply to be 4. So you're always going to have negatives involved in this factoring part. Okay, and then we've got 2 and 2, and also -2 and -2. But like I said, I think some of you already just knew the answer. 1 and 4 add up to 5. Okay, so that's my pair. Lexi. Next person. 34. Oh yeah, how did I not see that? It was right in the front. Do you remember what we do on step 3? Did you write the steps down? Well, then why don't you read it? Oh, okay, that's fine. Step 3, I'll just tell you what the step is and you can kind of, I'm going to replace the 5, the middle term, with the pair that I just circled. Okay? So instead of writing 5, I'm going to write 1 and 4. So I'm going to have 2n squared plus 1n plus 4n plus 2. Can anybody think what's going to be super easy to forget? Which I'm sure some of you might do, and it's going to throw off the problem.
Adding the n.
Like putting the letter here, correct. It's going to be really easy to forget to put this letter here. Okay. Josiah, do you want to keep going? Do you want somebody else to go? Oh, okay. 38? I don't even know where. Okay. That seemed like, did you choose 38 on purpose? Wow. It's your own desk mate. I don't want to start some beef right in the middle of class. Okay, Serena, tell me what to do. Okay, okay. What does that mean? But you're right.
I don't really know.
You were gone for some days last week, weren't you? I think you were here Thursday. At all? Oh, then you're really going to be lost. Okay. So, factor by grouping, the part that you missed, you're going to kind of imaginary divide this into half. And then on the left half, you're going to take out the greatest common factor. On the right half, you take out the greatest common factor. So on the left half, they have no numbers in common. They just have an n. And then I'm going to write a parentheses to say what would be left if I removed the n or divided by it, however you want to think about it. So this becomes 2, and then 2 n's, but you take 1 away, so we'd have 1 left. And then n divided by n kind of turns into a 1. It doesn't go away. Mikey, you want me to explain that one? Okay. This is the one that's really easy to miss. That if you cancel out, like everything cancels out, it leaves a 1. Canceling out doesn't actually mean like 0. Canceling out means it turns into 1. Okay, how about, can you try the right half? What do they have in common? What goes into both?
2.
Just 2. Yep. So they don't have any letters in common. And then if I divided them both by the 2, what would I be left with?
2 and
Plus 1. Yeah, 2 divided by 2 is 1. It feels like it should be nothing. Okay, good. So that's like the difficult step of factor by grouping. Okay, another person? Are you just going to call him 37? Just start a war with your group? Oh, okay. 7. That's Jake.
Yes.
How do I finish?
It's 2n plus 1 at the front.
Good. They have that in common. Perfect. Nice. Then we're done. These aren't going to be quick. That's for sure. Once you get the steps down in your head, it's not bad. Okay, let's go to the one to the right of it. Whoa, what happened there? 5n squared plus 19n plus 12. One thing you're going to notice that is slightly annoying is step number 1 can give you some big numbers, and then that just takes more time. Jake, who is going to help me start off this problem? 29? How could we forget which one 29 was? Bailey.
You multiply the two outside numbers?
Good. If you got it wrong, I was a little worried because I told you what to do, yeah. Okay, so 5n squared and 12 give me 60n squared. Absolutely, you could still use your calculators for everything, by the way. I wouldn't even be shocked if you can find a website that will find all of the factors for you. And you can certainly utilize that to help you out. Obviously, you can't on a test, but like just to get in the hang of it, go for it. So off on the side, I need to find the factors of 60n squared. Who's going to do that? Is it going to be 31? That's what I figured. She looked like she was too happy that you got chosen for 29. How do I write the factors of 60? Good. That's how I was going to guide you if you needed it. So 1 times 60. Then we go to... Thanks, I forgot. 2. If I'm being honest, I generally only do the negatives if I see negatives in the problem. But I just was trying to get you in the habit of it. Okay, so 2 and 30. If you need to on your calculator, do 60 divided by 2. So 2 and 30, okay. Then 3. Does 3 go into it? Yes. Okay, so 3 and 20. -3, -20. Okay. 4? Yeah, 15. So -4, -15. 5, yep, because it ends in a 0. 12. 6 definitely does because it's 60, yeah. 6, 10. I am running out of room. 7, no. 8, no, because 8 goes to 56. 9, no. And then how do I know I'm done? Yes. 10 is the next number I would be trying, but it's listed on the right-hand side, so that means I'm done trying numbers. As soon as I get on the left-hand side until it equals the right-hand side, then I'm done. Now, this is a lot of choices here. Do you want to do the choice, or do you want somebody else to do the choice? Okay. How do I do it? Who's going to do it? 28? There might be business going down after school today here. What's going on? Jeez. Okay, I shouldn't joke about that because I know it'll happen too. Okay, Addie. What do I do now? You haven't been paying attention.
No, I was writing the steps down on a different part of my paper, so I could write this down because I didn't have enough room.
Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to look for the pair of numbers here on the right that adds up to 19. A lot of choices, yeah.
Give me 1 minute.
I am. I'm not rushing you. I know you probably feel rushed because you're called on, but I'm not rushing you. Besides, everybody else in the class needs a chance to check their phones, apparently.
4 and 15.
Oh, okay. Why'd you guys tell her? Okay, 4 and 15. Now, do you want to keep going? Do you want somebody else to go?
Someone else go.
Okay.
So that bigger.
19.
Oh, you didn't have to call his number. You just,
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Okay, then
What do
you
I
put-
do?
Oh, well, first, you put the n next to the both of them.
Sure, I can do that so that we don't forget it. Okay?
And then you replace the 19n with plus 4n and plus 15n.
Good. Replace the 19 with whatever order you want. Okay.
And then you put the line down the start.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be Anna's turn.
And then you start to factor them out. So the first one, the only thing it really factors into is 1. So, and then the n. So then you put the 5n. And then plus 4.
Good, very good.
And then you divide the other side by 3. And no, just 3.
Yep, no, that's correct.
And then it's 5n plus 4.
And then a reminder from last week, if these two parentheses aren't the same, something went wrong. Do you want to finish?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. It seemed like you wanted to.
And then the first two things in front of the parentheses, the 9 and the 3, would be put into the parentheses, so it'd be 9 plus 3 in 1.
We're getting to 9.
Sorry, I'm doing this in my head. We divide each side by the 5n plus 4.
Where'd you get 9 from? Or were you trying to
Did I
say?
say 9? Oh, I meant n.
I heard 9, but maybe you meant 10.
My bad.
Okay, that's where I was getting confused. Okay, you're correct. 5n plus 4 is in common. I mean, maybe you were speaking German. You were like mixing together German and English.
And then in the other one, it would be n plus 3.
Good. Very good. How are we feeling on these? I mean, we've only done 4 total, but it's going to be the same steps all the way through. Clearly, they're slow.
We've only done 3.
Have we?
Yeah, we've only done 3.
Oh, because I had you write the instructions on that spot.
Button.
Now, are there 4 left on the page or 6? Do you want to do one more together?
It's 7 left on the page because you forgot the 4x squared minus 4.
Oh, the upper right was for people to write instructions, like like the steps.
Oh.
I see you wrote them down. Do you guys want to do one more together?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, like, I'm fine with that because this is kind of a weird topic. Oh, boy. Boy, Lexi, you had to pick the worst one possible. Yeah. What did that have to do with recording? Okay, 9 and 21. Were you just trying to, like, get me off track? Change the topic? 9 and 21, so we're going to have 189. That's absolutely terrible. Oh, wait. I see something that could make this easier. Let's erase that. Oh, now I'm glad we did this example. What? Kai, it's crooked. It's crooked. I don't really care. I just wanted to make you feel bad about making it crooked. Does anybody see what all 3 of those numbers have in common? 3. They all have 3 going into them. So I can rewrite this problem as, that's an eraser, as 3 times 3k squared plus 22k plus 7. Now that's huge for us because now if I multiply the outside 2 numbers, it's just 3 and 7. That's going to be a lot smaller. Actually, I should put that above the problem, shouldn't I? There. I'm going to use the factored out one because it's smaller numbers. So I'm going to multiply 3 and 7 now and get 21. And that's definitely a lot less than 189. If you can make it smaller by taking out a number, you are welcome to, and it certainly still works. If you guys remember the worksheet we had last week, I think it was Thursday, some of the answers had a number taken out front. That's what this is from. So I have no negatives in the problem, so I'm just gonna do positives. 1 and 21, 2, no. 3, 7, 4, no. 5, no. 6, no. 7, I'm actually done. So 22, well, if I didn't figure out 22, I wouldn't be a very good math teacher. So 1 and 21. Now this 3, I'm just gonna keep out front the whole time. It doesn't matter to me how you want to write it. If you just wanna like write a line so that you don't forget it, you can write it out there separate. But I need to replace the 22 with 1 and 21. Right here. So as soon as I factored out 3, I am no longer going to do the problem with the bigger numbers. I am now going to do 3k squared plus 22k plus 7. So that has smaller numbers. Is that what you meant by where I got the 22 from? No. I multiplied the outside 2 to get 21. I want to find the pair of numbers that adds up to this middle term, the 22. Then I'm going to split it in half. I'm not going to be showing work on this one. I hope that's okay. I think you guys should know by now where the work comes from, but k is the only thing they have in common. So I'd be left with 3k plus 1. Right-hand side, 3, oh gosh, 7 is the only thing they have in common. They both have 3k plus 1 in common. K plus 7 would be the other one. And then this 3 that I had out front the whole time will now just go in the front right there. Now here's what I want to emphasize. Did anybody do the problem with the 66 or like the 189? Okay, if you did, your answer is either going to be 9k plus 3 times k plus 7, or 3k plus 1 times 3k plus 21. And those would be considered correct as well. It's an extremely annoying fact, but that's kind of how it works. The one I circled is considered the most correct, would be the one you'd see on multiple choice tests. But if you guys have any one of these 3 on the test, I am okay with any one of them. It just kind of depended on how you decided to factor it. Okay, we used up a little bit more time than normal, and that's all right. Why don't you guys do the last 5 questions on your own? And absolutely help each other out, come ask me for help. And then I can take this last, whatever it is, 20 minutes left, or however much time we have left. If anybody wants to come up and show me assignments to put into the grade book. Because I have a feeling quite a few people have them to put in the grade book. And I thought that would be a good thing to do today.